and space so that they'll be able to perform.
But waiting are some of the new thing them where they don't put inside these documents. Alex Bonafà be explain.
There has to be now a regional coordinating team, because you agree that a lot of the functions at the central don't stop at the regions. From the central, they go straight to the districts, and they are uncoordinated. So this is why we want to have a central hub now. Harmonization of national development processes and regional policy dialogue, cooperation, synergy, and collaboration between local authorities and central government agencies, response to national emergencies, those other activities and functions that are not devolved to the councils, like energy, like water resources, added now at the Village Development Committee, the VDCs. We also want to look at the transitional arrangement. With the transitional arrangement, the status quo has been that 3 months to elections, chairpersons of councils are asked to leave their seats, to vacate their seats, and to hand over to their chief administrators. This policy is directing that there will have to be a proper and coordinated handing over system.
Marcella Samba Sise, they work for Campaign for Good Governance, and Andula Valley, they work for Institute for Governance Reform, IGR, and then 2 people here, now member them, now the Task Force Committee, where the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development been set up for look inside this document. Been talk about what they think, but some of the thing them way come out from the presentation where the director do.
I think what is very important for me as a member of this task force is the way this document is framed and presented to the Sierra Leonean people. If it is seen to be an SLPP manifesto, we will definitely face challenges. But if it is framed as a document that is meant to deepen decentralization and strengthen the delivery of services, then there will be a better sell for that.
This whole issue of the vision, first and foremost, the vision of the policy states that it wants to create the space for local democracy. And we are talking about all local council elections shall be non-partisan. That in itself undermines the very tenets of local democracy. Democracy must be integrated and ingrained at the local level. It's one of the biggest and dramatic changes this policy would be looking at.
This document where the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development don't prepare, the ministry don't hand them over to member them na the task force committee for make them go look inside them and do some correction them before the minister take them na cabinet for approval. For Radio Democracy, Princess Piasley reports.
Alright, the program Namide Show is the country live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Continue for listening to the program 077981981 are the number we for use if you get any question where you want for ask inside the program. The program they continue and the rumor about the arrest of ammunition done in a public discussion this BNTM, where this according to the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs Lahai Lawrence Lima say this rumor not true and police investigate this matter now as it confirms say security personnel them na Kenema Cambia arrest the ammunition them ya between Salone and Guinea border this BNTM. It talk more to Musa Kamara.
They are under investigation currently na the regional police headquarters na the northeast.
When they talk about ammunition for somebody they listen now, whose kind then tell you say they see na Cambia?
Well, then say shotgun cartridges, and my understanding about shotgun cartridges can normally be like then single barrel way hunters then can use, but the mixture of it I can't ascertain, but for confirm say yes, that information was shared with me that investigations around the shotgun cartridges where they arrest at the border they go on. It first been then at the Cambia police stations where they investigate, but I'm sure by now the CID headquarters was supposed for don't call for that, but it all depends on what the director of crime decides as to how them for investigate.
What are the quantity would they talk about now?
Well, I can't give you a verified quantity here, but then tell me say a large quantity of them though.
People go look for know in which area then the Nkesham way at the border and was it crossing with it or now within Salone the Nkesham?
I can't give you the facts. Those basically, I can't give you the detailed facts rather. Normally, where things and of that nature happen, then just can get the highlight for inform you. So the highlight was then actually arrest shotgun cartridges na the border areas. That one, nine them flag and send that information and we then share with me. That one. The next was Edina Cambia Police Headquarters for investigations. After that, it's ongoing. The investigation is ongoing. So by now, I'd expect say maybe the CID for also don't call for that file or for the investigations for make they will for look into it.
You na key stakeholder na the security sector. They talk about ammunition na the border. Somebody go like for know how it come about for make they able exactly find out about this ammunition and how they come about the arrest.
I not get the detailed facts, but we get security personnel them deploying at the border areas and then duties and responsibilities now for make sure say those transportations of dangerous materials then actually arrest them and subject them to investigations. And so that is why that are the reason we make them dede. So if then dede, they're able for detect the movement of dangerous substance or materials of that nature and they arrest them and then bring and come to the police for investigations. It tells you that the security sector really they do their job and then they're on top of it.
Somebody where they listen now they hear about gun ammunition, go they think otherwise and it creates worry in the minds of the people. As Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, somebody where they listen to you now, within the security situation as it stands.
Well, I just want to let people not get anything for worried about. Of course, yes, with those kind of information seem for create some tensions in the minds of people, but then also then for get a confidence, then we don't elect a government in our power way. They look after their security, and you get state institutions them way by definition of the responsibilities and the laws of this country now for protect the state against dangerous practices and also protect the citizens of the state. So then duties across the border areas and also within the internal security of the country now for make sure so them protect Sierra Leone and protect Sierra Leoneans. So then get institutions them now the country where actually they protect them so they not get much really for worried about. Let them trust and let them continue for repose and trust and confidence in the government. See, the government actually go look after their security. So there's no need for worry about that.
We instill confidence in the minds of Salone people now. But since this thing happened, an allegation of coup don't they come up and your name don't be mentioned in it as a Deputy Internal Affairs Minister.
Now distractions and a diversionary method for make sure say them build tension in the minds of people and also narrow me space for doing a job. Me being in the security sector, as trivial as those incendiary audios could be, the facts say they are dangerous, they are mischievous, and they aim at subverting the minds of citizens and also undermine the loyalty of citizens and confidence in government. As a key stakeholder in the security sector, I get the responsibility, in particular the way they mention my name around those kind of dangerous practices for make firstly I come to the public and do a disclaimer and also no say me no go shoot myself na my leg. In other words, me no go don't play my own role significantly for bring in my party into governance and where they do so well for even think of in the first place me not to a bad citizen, me not a very good citizen. So anything we not conform with laws and no they go by them. Na me own nature down there. So those are things I can't go by. But the bottom line is it's not about me, but it's about and it's not also about established state institutions. It's about people maybe get a diabolical intent and when they try for pursue, then go get 10 dangerous intentions and they divert the mindset of the public from those dangerous practices.
The internal security is very much important for any national development. Going further with the kind of information here, so we go around and the investigation on arrest of short arms, them na the border end. What in the security sector they do going further for ensure say the security of the citizens then safe?
Firstly, now for come with a factual message to the public and also sustain the confidence of the public and also develop a strategy with accurate information and sound intelligence and then come filter that and see what in periodically the security sector going to come up with to the knowledge or to the attention of the public for able for reassured and confidence in government and believe say government and government institutions they on top of the security situation in the country.
Okay, that's now the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, Lai Lawrence Lima, but they talk to Musa Kamara inside an interview there, but some arrest them wouldn't do for some ammunition them na Cambia district. The program na made show it they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. 077 again 981 and the number way for use if you get any question or comments where you want for give for sake issue them where we deal with inside the program. The program they continue. September 14 na in school picking them been begin take the basic education certificates examination beke. But center been there na Makeni we picking them been sit na net. Beside the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Senge said the reason we make Makeni school picking them take the Beke exam na net na because some school them do late registration. Dr. David Senge talk more inside this interview with Mange Mansare.
Now they're not true and they're unfortunate and actually just go WAEC right for begin to understand what's happening and how it happened. There are several reasons why make that happen and several lapses.
So now what's not the reasons that we're responsible for that?
Systemic issues. So some school and they we not only send the net, 9 them verify and send new candidates list them. I go WAEC today up to 9 school and they 9 center and they we then update or then add new candidates then. We they take exam tomorrow or next tomorrow. The parking they happen today or right on the day of. If you, a school, at that time they verify and check without them for dinner in school, that means that you don't help yourself, you don't help the picking, you don't help nobody in the system. So that is systemic failure. Now motorman in the park. Okay, so then goes in the call on the park. If motorman park and then check, then do all then check. Remember, we get 295 center then we take exam. Now only about 2 center now this happening or a handful.
Who's at the center then?
Now so now McKinney, then they happen now McKinney 2 center then I think now McKinney and then now Nabo QRS then get about I think 20 to 50 candidates then we on the parking. So on the parking means say the number of picking then we show or waiting at the list, the material you know the and one primary reason and then way people then fail for register before and we then the park. And the second one, we know they turn people then away. Unfortunately, we then show up for exam because many reasons and the other day 4 picking then can at my office, then principal don't run away, then teacher able to go give them and sleep. If then picking them and parents then go show up in school, then likely will not they turn their way. And so even though we they overpack sometimes, people then they solve them problem in the different ways.
Somebody will see this now. Na neglect, na carelessness, because na thing way for don't happen before, and una sure say na this number, na only at the 11th hour where they affects the picking them.
Unfortunately, yes, and this is a system level failure and system level neglect at all levels. One, the parents then, people then they don't want to see them picking them and sleep. So as parents, we get a responsibility, not just one day before the exam, 1 week before the exam, 2 months before the exam. As a parent, you need to verify, say, you picking actually get a valid sleep. Then picking the work at the office 1 week last Friday, then not being get sleep. And they're private school then they go. Not to say this is not government school, not private school. Now then they go. And I tell them they go police and I me posting with the and tell of inspectorate who and engage with them. So as parents in our society, we don't fail with picking them where we know member and for find out whether they get sleep or not. As teachers, principals, we fail with picking them if we not go check for make sure so we picking them validly registered. If we will submit list, we not go follow up and we not engage with WAEC. Not only on the last day they send additional slips there. As a ministry and as DD there and all, we also fail with picking them. Because now we put on the pressure and make sure say no exception are there. This is like system level failure. Then they respond. Not like say this they happen everywhere. I don't mention to you say about 800,000 people that take exam. MPSC, WAS and Beke. We know here scatter all over the happen. There are centers and many things anyway for don't happen. Between Freetown and Makini in 2 hours. And that day the WAEC person say if problem in there, that person where they apologize. WAEC take responsibility. Then for don't call now WAEC now, make them drive Moscago. 2 hours, the exam for don't they not for they take 6 o'clock now there. There are many reasons. But the people then wake up for go scatter that place there, they know they help them picking them.
Well, this is not the first one for me happen. For me picking a seats na net.
Sure.
But also the one we get for do with the paper, say pikin not turn, they only turn the day for the exam. Not to the first time for me it happened. It may happen during MPSC, yeah. And we feel say a learning point for the ministry.
Yeah, but imagine this: you get 295 center. I know they go send 500 people at every center. We now get 100 candidates because of the membership who they know the show. Then go show up with the name of the day. It makes no sense.
You know, if you say this na hindrance to the free quality education. When they think of quality, picking up for take exam under candle, picking up for take exam the term way for be at 1, 2, it go to come. You know, if you say na hindrance to the free quality education.
So I want to most separate free quality school education program from the challenges where they happen. Because at the end of the politicization of education, we are the vex part. Because if you think about FQSC and waiting it do, now for say anybody who want to take exam in this country, will they pay for them? There are 800,000 people there where they take exam, will they pay for? Will they not pay for it? And that is success, that is quality, that is the transition, okay? The fact say there are systematic challenges where I don't mention say 800,000 people and take exam, where we get 295 center, but not only a handful of center this happen, is not indicative of the quality of what's in the happen. We recognize the failures, we recognize the challenges, but it's unfortunate that there are people in society where they say, one challenge there, the whole system is bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. That is unfair to the children, not even the government. That is unfair to the children.
Okay, that Namange Mansare be they talk to the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Senge, but some Becker students them will be in sit exam na net na makini. The program they continue. Member say we still wait for we studio guests. We they expect they come out from Anti-Corruption Commission for cancer everybody alleged corruption na Parliament. The program they continue. Salon na one part the country them where don they suffer from bad health facility them na the country where this make according to research the country they part of the highest rate of maternal mortality and other sick them where they kill woman and pikin them. This according to the country in health sector make the Executive Director for Civil Society on Health and Human Rights, Victor Lansana Kuruma, say them be do one assessment on the country health sector for know who side the problem dey. And say according to the research we then do, show say over 60% well body workman them na government hospital them not they take their work serious one. And this can make plenty people can end up die. I've been talked to Victor Lansana Kuruma inside this interview.
The manner in which the health workers there, especially when we talk about health workers across, the nurses them, the doctors them, and caregivers them, even the one the way they work in the mortuary, the complaints them where they come up from the public, it don't they plenty. The way they treat them, the way they neglect patient they go to the hospital, they know they attend to her on time, and nobody know they talk about this. Nobody know they take action. So now I make we think say, as a civil society where they promote health and human rights issue, where they call on the government, especially the Minister of Health and Sanitation, let them make sure say the 1956 Act, the Nurses and Midwife Act, they need for review because in that act they make provision for letting nurses them able to do their work very effectively by holding their health workers accountable for anybody where they misbehave, where they pay attention, where they neglect patients. And as a matter of fact, it is a crime where you neglect patient till he die. It's a criminal offense, and by we laws, it's not good. Anybody who then find you do that, they punishable by law.
Okay, so how now come up with this conclusion? Say nurses they know they take their work seriously. Is it now promoting people that they tell una or una self do una your?
We do an independent observation at the facilities there. In fact, this right across, say health alert get coordinators them all over. So when they complain, I don't come them, but what I do, we are allowed to be colleagues them, the coordinators them. For them, they just go and observe what they happen. They observe that the outpatients, they go PCMH hospital, then go to Cooper Satellite Hospital, then go to Connaught Hospital, and then they also na the district, then the regional hospitals. Them they compile them kind of report, then they send out to me say, well, indeed, director, this not the complaints them where we say go verify for say yes, there are patients the way patient and nurses and the way patient they go to hospital. Some don't even care for pay attention to the patient. Some man they busy on phone, some man they on WhatsApp, and some man they in fact where patient they carry the hospital. So they demand. But one key thing we not been good, where we think that the government need for take attention. the delay in the outpatient is very serious. There is a triage. In that triage, that means where you go there, whether you're a COVID suspect or not, therefore take everybody as like a suspect. So, but the triage, now one means that the way they screen you. But most times when patients they go under, now did the delay they take place. And there are several instances where I go to mention where patients don't go there with emergency situations, then delay on that patient until the patient then lost their life. I think say this, it must change and not go continue for happen. We categorically condemn that. And I make what they say, one thing where the government for do now, the ministry for do, let it review the 1956 Act. We don't hold because it not make provision for the safety and the right of the patient.
So how will our workman and go get the income?
By observation, what I mean, like how you can do, you know introduce yourself, but it's not you observe and see what did happen exactly. You go to the outpatient, you see what did happen. You go to the wards, then you see what did happen, right? And then from there, you interview one or two health workers, them nurses, them. Now, so exactly then do.
So how frequent
right?
Una do Amona come up for this company?
This is an activity we don't do for the past 3 months there now. And the thing say from where this COVID starts, it don't become very consistent. Now I make more when they come up with this. For we think say we did raise this because we think say government don't do a lot. Not to say the health workers them, some of them are bad eggs in the system. Not to say that they all they do this one. Now a good number of them they are very good and they do very well, but you get the bad one they win without the system. Now they raise this concern for and they bring this to the attention of government. Then they know say the good effort what they don't do over the years. They don't for allow them bad nurses and they them bad health workers and they for spoil that good image. The other thing for do observe now the doctors inside. We also notice that most of the doctors say then they just spend like them 2 or 3 hours at the government hospital. They don't even get much time. When they can, they just ask for patient after that, then go back to the private surgery. Now they spend nearly 7 to 8 hours. And these are paid doctors. My sister, you know very well recently, the very nurses and doctors then they be asked for their government increase in salary, all the pay package government provide. Tax free and the salary in most of the front end workers. We also join in the advocacy for the government provider. So by now, for expect say themselves for able to give back to the government, they will pay attention to the patient. But most of them they just take care about their private surgeries and that kind of stuff. So that and one other thing will also observe.
Okay, so with the negligence where you say they on the side of the nurses and the doctors, the well body workman there, which una research una do because it's in a constructive research una do. What una think say na the reason for them here?
Well, basically it has been a practice, na habitual business. Now it get for boil down on attitude and behavior. The reason being is they not get an effective monitoring system. The nurses and midwife well, the medical and dental council, how often they not ever go to the facility, let them do an on-the-spot check of their health workers. They don't do them. Some of them the challenge they will talk to the chief nursing officer and the others them, they get challenged with logistics, they get challenged with vehicle for even go out for do monitoring, they don't get them. And these are all recipe for let bad work happen.
So una we don't get a time where una they meet the Ministry of Health with them concern here and bring at
yes, in most times in the ministry get an up with our policy work is done and discuss. But some of the issues then in fact the chief nursing officer on several occasions being in the online where they communicate these are the issues. It tell me say Victor not to say some of you not aware, but what you will do. Number one, what you give with the trend for those who hold us accountable. Now the act and we don't get power. Private nursing schools then they when they exist. When our fake nursing schools then they train people that when they not qualified, then they do bad system. How do we hold them? Because the act when I give with the trend for those who do the work fine one, it old and government need for review them. So that's one of the excuses they tell we, right? Then they hide under the COVID now. Where patients they come, they know they touch. Or until we do a test, COVID now exacerbates the increase more the situation, make them more worse. Significantly, the negligence and the abandonment on their profession also don't contribute to the death of patients the way they happen at the hospital.
Alright, that now the Executive Director for Civil Society on Health and Human Rights, Victor Lansana Koroma, been they talk to me inside the interview day, but one assessment so that we then do, outside them fair not say plenty well body workman them not they take their work serious one, and plenty doctor them say prefer for day na private hospital them than the government hospital them. The program na midday show it can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We dey continue with the program and we go take another issue na Seratel. As Seratel always concern for sake of better condition of service where they say their workman they not get and other struggle them where the company don't they go through, make the managing director na Seratel for this accord say if government not put scope up as Seratel operation now, the company go lock at the end of December this year because scope no dey again for make they operate. Chelno Jalo gets more and go now report.
The Sierra Leone Telecommunication Company Limited, Seratel, na 100% government-owned mobile company, where they for make sure say government support in citizens them for able for communicate to each other daily, This company don't do this for long term now, as they don't provide communication services them to plenty people in the country over the past years them. But this BNTM is strange for see person where they use Saratel network, will make plenty people believe say Saratel network and facility the money they provide don't they die slowly and not able for match up to other mobile company them where they come na salon. Now for sake of this make plenty people expect say more government attention for them and this company as now government get them and it will generate more revenue for the government where they go use for other development programs them. But this now why plenty people think say not only happen as in clear say the foreign mobile company them don't they make them pass the only government mobile company no the country gets. And this now one big concern to plenty people na the country, more especially the staff them where they work na Saratel, as then they say for long term now they know they get the facility them where they supposed forget.
Like me when they talk to you, so me and me 28 years of service now, I they tell you, as I talk to you, so even lands, empty lands for not get them, bicycles on me, I not get them for myself. One of the key concern is the medical. Now the 2 years is up to this time we talk with medical facilities now, very, very more poor. As we talk now, we don't even know when they pay we for last month's salary.
Management don't make the staff they don't discourage and not to the point that they don't frustrate. Waiting lead to that. Waiting management they talk and they do them. And worst of it is that the place is not developing, the place they grow. We get people that already work for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Now they hope for the future. Now they hope for get them benefits for go live a peaceful life. People then they go live, you know, competent for pay then they live. And worst of it about the live, now pick and choose. How can a man they go live January, you know get money, somebody go live July get money?
Believe me, my brother, what they tell you so, this coming future, I'm afraid the end of it. Because if you look how things they go, people don't go retirement. They never pay them. Also, you know, so they drag too. And the drainage, they can't send the drag.
With all them concern, I will recommend the Adoris. Make up been decided for talk to the managing director na Saratel, Fode Sanko, will tell me what's in the makeup of this concern. Would the workmania raise?
I agree with all the team staff there. Most of what they say, not to all, not to. Some of them, they were good disputes. For example, the issues about the medical and the leave allowance system and the end of service benefits be delayed. Sometimes their salary, sometimes is delayed for 1 month, maybe a month and a half. That's it. Since I've been here, at no point their salary don't be delayed for 3 months. Since me take over August 2019, all these mountains of problems that they complain about, all has been here over 3, 4, 5 years. It's nothing new. The reality now, the business is not making money.
Fode Sanko continues to say, one big problem with the company on the face, now that government only put much attention on the country in your mobile company. So he say if this continue by the end of December, Saratel go close.
The reason for which make staff salary the delay is purely financial. Saratel no get money. I inherit this business bankrupt. Saratel is almost collapsing, near collapse. Between now and December, if the government and people of Sierra Leone not pay attention to Saratel, the business will collapse. If government not put small money inside Saratel for boost them up. And the message is I came here on day one, now that Saratel is in a very, very critical situation.
As you don't hear from the managing director, where they say if government not put measures in place, by the end of December this year, the company will close. This make ask recommend them, now Saratel, what this mean to them if the company close?
Over 400 staff then waiting in Saratel. If Saratel close down, or with all the lost job, and some of we get dependent then, now more burden on government. So these are we concerned. Instead of government allow this from make it happen, we are made a fair ways and it's made a savage the situation.
As of now we they control the command them. Because as union, we go for continued social dialogue. Because if you left to command, they want to go on a strike. Now two things, either government pump money now, I go to PPP, private partnership.
That would they beg, let the government step in. If the government step in, believe me, Saratel, we are nowhere in.
Corruption, lack of better equipment, political interference, according to the managing director of Saratel, Fode Sanko, don't be one great reason why make Saratel not able to compete with other mobile companies in them na the country.
Unfortunately, I get people from high up there, they call me on the phone and give me verbal instructions. Fire the staff, not fire the staff. My coming to Saratel, I'm not here to disadvantage anyone based on tribal, regional, or ethnicity. The CDMA network, when the main thing we get, the CDMA network is outdated. Until government change we from CDMA to GSM, we cannot compete. Some people in Saratella, they don't build 2-3 houses there out of theft. But initially when I came, we were spending too much money on fuel. So I was able to slash down the cleaning, the fuel, and the security, and which caused us to save minimum of 500-600 million a month.
But one concern we will command the raise now the fact that the Wale government privatized Saratel because then things say now the only way that this mobile company go grow. But this according to the managing director of Saratel, for the Sanko, if government for privatize Saratel and for the up to standard, but not to term like this, where the company don't they broke down. But for sake of this, make the chairman of the National Commission for Privatization, Dr. Prince Adin, be make and clear to Radio Democracy say the commission they now engage with the management of Saratel for see how best then we will tap the challenge them wouldn't they happen at Saratel. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me, Nachemno Jallo, the report.
DOC Cabal. Alright, this is PH Bandits. See, say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. Every food we for chop now, from breakfast to supper. Say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. From breakfast to supper, every food we for chop now. Say me not talk about the Bentley, but pocket not for go the empty. We got a family to feed and bills we pay. One go college, no money for the entry. Yeah, we tired for the end, now them junction, they wait for big cars for bagel. Myself one live better life, we London man forget bill. Why? Poverty you better lay low. Now money per issue in every ghetto. See, every ghetto youth want money. They tire for the lead, now the palm body. So them business they know, so one body. Me hustle hard, till life sweet like palm money. Yeah, poverty now so you bad. You don't make so money, do man and they cheat. And they contribute to the crime on the streets. When me stress, me rather go and take a sleep. But poverty we never make a be a thief. When me have the confidence, the confidence. See me, I go make money. Before I die, I go fly in every continent, yeah. See, say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. Every food we for chop now, from breakfast to supper. Say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. From breakfast to supper, every food we for chop now. Youth man be wise and don't act like the stupid. Thief and chook, they come with no profit. The trauma and the push and no options to stop it. Don't tell me the system is concrete. Only things here no go make you man. Don't let the system beat you down. So work hard, you go make them. Waiting for season for taker. Yeah, they tire for the end, now them junction. They wait for big cars for bagel. Myself one live better life, we London man forget bill. Say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. Every food we for chop now, from breakfast to supper. Say we don't tire for the suffer. We want leave now proper. From breakfast to supper, every food we for chop now. Suffer, proper. We for chop now.
Alright, I hope so you enjoy that music day inside the program. Members say the program and me they show the country live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We they continue with more issue them inside the program. As well for continue for make investor them Canada the country, the Ministry of Trade and Industry the hold 2-day investment summit for MDA them. Dr. Edward Ingasandi, the Minister of Trade and Industry, say the country don't get to invest to them where they plan for invest in the agricultural sector and other side them we go boost the country economy and provide work for young people in a salon. He explained more to the reporter Usman Kamara.
For able bring come together a number of people them we truly don't get into business in Africa. And we want to kind of explore what happen in Sierra Leone.
Right. Basically, what we see in a investment summit, we on the whole 2 days. Firstly, what are these investors there? We don't cancel.
Well, two of them, they all two come on from the United States of America. We'd expect another set where they come on from Sweden and a couple of other people where they come on from Russia. Of course, they're not there Now, because of the challenges where COVID posed with traveling of people around the country, but would expect them to come over the weekend, and the engagements going to continue at ministry to ministry level. We're going to make sure, say, where they come, we're able to make them understand what in Sierra Leone get for offer, and also look at the strengths and what in them we're able to do.
Right. So basically, we now like some of the specific area them where them people here plan for can invest in.
You know, say we as a government, we already go with priority. One, we want to diversify the economy. We want to pay attention, first of all, on agriculture. And one of the areas we then have done identify now which thing we can do for improve on agricultural productivity. The second one, now with agro-processing, which thing we will do for add value to which we produce in this country, so that we're able to maximize the benefit we get from which they come up from we farms them. And all of which we would try to do so. Now, one, we will encourage farmers for even grow more, because what we don't find out over the years is most people can show interest in farming, but after 1 or 2 years when I'm going to farming, the fact say you get a lot of post-harvest losses, and the opportunity for able access market not there, then can normally get discouraged and get out of the farming activity. But what do they try to do? We're supposed to able encourage more people then for do farming. Just like we all don't depend on now. Mr. Sabine, now one of the people then where they farm, they do rice, they do vegetables, even they do groundnut. So you just see, say, the more people then we get where they come into agriculture, the more we're able to widen the space, the more we're able to increase the productivity, and the more we're able to do value addition, and the more we're able to improve on the lots of people then where they then communities and the way get arable lands.
Right. We still food na salon na res. You know, in this case, how important or how the ministry go hold the investor there for CC they invest in we local or we staple food we na rice, because over the past years government only spend plenty couple for bringing rice can a salon.
Well, yeah. So you don't see what they try to do locally, even the local private sector in this country. Bokuma don't go into rice cultivation. The Boli lands, if you move along the Mwamba Junction Bo Highway, you just see quite a good number of cultivation where they go on. People in the development in the Inland Valley, we get a couple of World Bank sponsored projects, them, the SCADA project, the other projects, and the AVMP projects, them, where they ensure, say, we people them actually go get the opportunity for make them understand within the importance and the priority of government in rice cultivation. So what would they do actually for see how we will whet the appetite of them investors there, so that when they will come, then we will partner with other local producers, then we're able to go into their own individual ventures and for see how they then go produce rice. And of course, we commitment for rice production is unwavering. The Ministry of Agriculture don't put so much, and with the hope, say, with more and more people coming in, apart from the one that we don't come, we will able to see how we will pick the production in rice in this country.
Whose change this will bring, or whose job opportunity will carry it in terms of job opportunities for young people in general?
Well, now the incubation period now we want to make shorter. We want to really make it look so short that once the investor come, the time when they take between income one and the time when they begin really invest and put money, now one really try for make shorten. But all of that come as a result of which kind of environment we as a government, they try for put together for make we fast track them processes in there. And the kind of energy, the kind of mindset where this current government get, I think now one will really go help for make we push through most of the investment opportunities that really come. And definitely, you know, say once the investment come and they come with the jobs and they come with so many other things.
All right, that's now Usman Kamara been the talk to Dr. Edward Inga Sandy, the Minister of Trade and Industry, but some investor them way say don't come na the country. The program na media show in the country live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we been telling earlier on inside the program today, we dey look how far the ACC don't go pan them investigation on the alleged corruption on member members of parliament them, and we get Alassane Kabo inside the program where na the deputy director na the Anti-Corruption Commission. And as people know, the Anti-Corruption Commission na body where they set up for investigate and prosecute people where they use government corpo illegal one. So for no more on this, we get Alassane Kabo where we can talk about that. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Okay, so first of all, start for tell we about the cases them we una investigate in our parliament.
Well, now two matters now we investigate in our parliament. One get for deal with the clerk of parliament, Honorable Param Tawawali, and Honorable Tawa. With respect, we commenced our investigations as a consequence of one radio program with them in Getna 98.1, in which allegations of corruption came up. And since we have a duty for investigate all forms of corruption, whether they bring unto we notice or we investigate and get the facts and for ourselves, as long as they deal and border on corruption, we have a duty to investigate. So accordingly, we commenced investigations last year, and the investigations to reach the advanced stage, and very soon we will inform the public on that particular investigation day. Now, the second investigation also with the deal and border on Parliament, it got to do with a radio interview also with one of the members of Parliament, Honorable Gevao, Hindolo Gevao, take na BBC Focus on Africa. In the program, he made a general allegation. Well, he was reacting to one study where Carl been lead. Now, what Carl they do, or other NGOs or INGOs where they focus on governance, that they may take institutions of governance for with the level of corruption. Then go say, okay, which institution you think say that the most corrupt institution of governance? So people would respond. Now, when Carl came out with this report in which then they say, well, based on the respondents we then talked to, Parliament was the fourth most corrupt institution. That is the perspective of the people. This is what the people thought based on Carl and studies. So Hindolo, the Honorable Hindolo Geva was responding to this. So talking about it, the BBC Focus on Africa program, so he admits, say generally, corruption in a parliament. He made a general admission without going into specifics. You understand? He did indicate, say, well, not to today begin, or it has been existing as far as in concern. So based on the premise what have been set, say Section 7 give we mandate for investigate corruption anywhere I come from. So we invite them accordingly also.
Dr. Gevao?
Yeah.
Honorable Gevao.
Honorable Gevao, yes.
Okay.
We invited him and obtained statement from him. But in we encounter with him, he did admit, say yes, I did say that, but he never give any specific. There are no leads. He not give we time, he not give we place, he not give who is involved. So there is no way we able to get any helpful lead from what he say, based on the evidence we obtained from him. And you see, not to what you know. Now what you able to prove. Then you go no say, oh, indeed something is wrong. Something is happening that is bad. But you need for prove them. You have to prove it, or else no need for charge. So then you go to suspect, say, well, this public officer actually corrupt. But if you don't get evidence for substantiate what you say, then you're not able to prove what you say. So we cannot take action based on what Honorable Gevao gave us.
But we are supposed to take action based on waiting people and say, not to in one great talk, then we also interview other people where then say corruption actually they take place in parliament, where lead for make the report and be asked Honorable Gevao, where confirm say yes, corruption they happen.
Okay, I agree. But these are all allegations of corruption.
So now responsibility now for investigate for know whether it happens or not.
So now that's what they do now. We don't tell you so we don't commence the investigations. But Honorable Gevao will say so.
But you say we not get a lead.
Yeah, there's no lead in that day. What's in a lead? Lead?
How for investigate?
No.
A lead on how for begin investigate?
No, we don't commence investigations. But a lead for follow the facts what you need so that you can able to charge. You understand? If somebody say I know the thief man name, but you not call the thief man the name, so how you able to arrest the thief man name? If somebody say I know who that do this, but you not tell you who that do am, you ask and I say I don't remember again who that do am. You can't do anything. So therefore we, like how you say, the allegations they are outside the under. So now we are calling on every member of the public, whether you work for government or you never work for government, whether you're a private businessman or otherwise, whether you're a student or otherwise, if you're in the dealings with parliament and don't ask you for bribe, or you don't offer a bribe somebody, accept them, or say no more, you get evidence, say something they happen yonder, please can't talk to we. We can protect your identity if you want. If you no one can talk to we, send anonymous message. We can act on it. Or if you have an article to write in a newspaper where they give you indication as to waiting for do and waiting for follow, we can follow that. But as we have the matter before us now, we're not able to get any concrete lead it with respect to would I involve, how much involved, when it happened.
Una don't try for like talk or work with Carl since now they actually pull the report now do. Maybe then go able for help now with investigations based on them findings them where they get.
Okay, so then study what thing they do, then they sample people and perception. Then they ask you without reason. Then they ask you, say in your opinion, the police and the judiciary, which one corrupt? You can say the judiciary. Then go say why you say so, oh I've been don't get case there and treat me so. But they will not seek for evidence. They view not for prosecution.
So you want to say baseless?
No, I've not said that. How can I say it is baseless? It is not. But I tell you how to conduct perception surveys. Perception surveys are not so like they go ask you the evidence why you believe so. Your perception you express. You understand? It is just a guide. But look, criminal investigations are the most difficult, especially with campaign corruption. For instance, if I come broke this window for good thief, where police come, they able to get that forensic evidence. If I come and hit somebody in the face, you see the mark in the face, or witness good day. But I think it happen about corruption. Now few people in the go in a corner outside, people they see them. They agree. So if you begin to treat it like ordinary wounding, it's difficult. And the only time we know, plenty times, now we fools they fall apart. I mean, rogues they fall apart. Either they not shape well or something happen. So a lot of are secret. But what in study they do, study gives you an indication of what is happening. It's quite different from criminal investigations. If not criminal investigations, we will ask them, if you say so, when did you offer the bribe? Would that be your witness? How much money you give? They will not ask you those questions for those studies. So you look at what's in the study they do, they study only the guide. So we are not making these allegations. They are not coming from us. Not so we do the study. Now Carl and other institutions, when Carl lead this study, then go through the process, they came out with those things. Now, Parliament, they say, no, we disagree with Carl. How we come in? Now, because Honorable Givao in disagreement, or when they talk to the BBC, say, okay, yes, corruption is there. So we have to call him. But if we call I come and say, well, I know that they involved, I know member that they involved, and now myself na what do? You cannot do anything more than that.
Okay, so in this case, the ACC now gets like private investigators them where go na parliament for go do then your underground investigations.
Oh, we do that all the time. It's not even private. Our investigations are intelligence led. We have an intelligence unit. We go dive into them thing in there, but we know they work alone. The way allegations then this so. Maybe even CISU, Central Intelligence Security Unit, where they under ONS, may help. IIS, Integrated Intelligence Services. You got FISU, Forces Intelligence Services. So we go make requests to all those intelligence services for help we gather intelligence on this. Because if you don't get intelligence from somebody, it's very difficult for investigate them. But if intelligence can't tell, we say, well, we don't find out. Now on so date, so person receives so thing. This person in there so you start from there. They go able to confront and say, on the 20th of this, you go to society, you receive this. But yes, we'll not drop the investigations yet. That is why I'm making a call, a public call for public support and public cooperation on these issues.
So when una go start to involve on body the way you call so for help una with investigation, because this na serious matter we get for do with parliament since na then they represent.
They already task them all by themselves if they are read and they have a mandate to collect intelligence on that, but they will tax them. But we will not come out and say, oh, we don't tax intelligence agencies for go dig you. We are alerting you. But that's our normal operations. Yeah? So let me make it clear. This is not the end of the investigations. This is just the beginning. And there is nothing suggesting here that we will not continue. In fact, now because we want to continue, we could invite public cooperation with a solicit information. Whether you're a whistleblower now or you're an informant, please talk to us. Or let the public know. Or send indicator to us if you don't want to talk to us through a third party for all know what's in the happen. This is where the media also could come in. Investigative journalism. In fact, most of the matters they would investigate successfully, and journalists then first can write on a newspaper. Or we are on a 98.1 radio. We begin dive into and now for see waiting for do and who Saudi.
So with regards to this matter now, honorable give out no more we una try for talk to or una don't try for talk to other member of parliament them.
Well, you know, just they go call person and say, make I can talk to you. You forget probable cause. Now, Indolo, you know, Honorable Indolo give out, I admits na BBC. Now we go for talk to.
But then una go need for like ask other people them opinion na parliament since the allegation gets with them.
Asking opinion and investigating is a different thing. We don't commence investigation. You can only bring people of way relevant to you. I mean, if you know, just now go say, okay, one member of parliament don't say so, so we'll bring in all members of parliament to testify. No, you cannot do that. And don't forget to say, the House of Parliament is a honorable house. So you just need to go get our people and they, if you don't get reason for bringing them come.
Okay, so you make mention of, before we round up because it's almost time, you make mention of the Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Tawa, and you make mention of the Clerk of Parliament, and Honorable Tawa, the investigation, the corruption allegation where una dey investigate right now. How far una dey with that case? Because you say now from last year una don't begin investigation. Waiting the delay the process.
Why if you assume say delay? You think say investigation? If you say delay, you are assuming that we don't slow down. No, there's no delay. So investigations then complex. Like I told you, criminal investigations then difficult. But we are concluding now at the advanced stage today. And very soon, we will inform public on how far we don't go with them. Very soon, we will tell public about the outcome of that investigation day.
All right, okay. That's now Alassane Kabo, the Deputy Director na the Anti-Corruption Commission, being the talk about how far the Anti-Corruption Day for look inside the investigation on the alleged corruption on members of parliament and he talk about the investigation where they go on now about the Clerk of Parliament and Honorable Tawa on some allegation corruption case them. The program where you listen to now media show it can't live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Plenty thank you to you. We take you time for listening to the program and continue for listening to the program every day at 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we want to say plenty thank you to we producer Michael Sambola and Alexo Lawrence Koma, where them produce the program, and we want to say plenty thank you to DJ Hamad, where give we technical support, and Moses Kavura, where give we Facebook Live. So the next time, me Nawani Gaujadi say tata.